If it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, then it must be, stay tuned to this video. The best in the business, and I'm at it again. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. We got a lot to talk about, and I got no time to waste. Throw a like on the video goes a long way. Eddy Reynoso says that a fight with David Benavidez, payday, you want payday, I know that, is useless. And he says David Benavidez ain't fought nobody. He could fight Triple G a third time, but a fight with David Benavidez is useless. I will put the link in the description. For Eddy Reynoso, a fight between Saul, Canelo Alvarez, and David Benavidez would be useless for Canelo's career because the rival, it is not at the level of a multi-champion like Canelo. If you look at Benavidez's record, he has not beaten anyone. The most he has done is beat Anthony Dirrell, which for me is a champion that did not have a great run, a great career at 168 pounds, Reynoso told TUDN. Many have said that David Benavidez is overrated. What not many people now know is has been a world champion too, but they took away Benavidez's title. It's a rough translation. That's why I'm a little bit choppy. It says they took away his title because he lacked discipline and once for doping. And that's right there. It's not dope. I mean, I don't know anyone that considers cocaine doping, right? But it was a banned substance nonetheless, so he did lose his title. So that part is correct. But Canelo, it's just funny to hear Eddy Reynoso say that David Benavidez, they took his belt for doping, and Canelo failed a test with clenbuterol, which is for the respiratory system. Reynoso disqualified his rival as someone worthy of fighting Canelo because his rivals have not been in the category A. He has gained a reputation that Benavidez does and undoes, who he knocks out, throws punches, but who has been the most difficult opponent for Canelo. What has allowed us to fight with him? So he's basically saying, what has he done? What has he done? He hasn't proven nothing. He has gained practically nothing. David Benavidez fights with C-class rivals. He says for the coach, Jermall Charlo or Golovkin would be rivals for Canelo Alvarez, now preparing to enter the cruiserweight weights, yada, yada, yada. So there you have it. I mean, I've said it for quite some time. It is what it is. Canelo officially doesn't want no smoke with Benavidez because this is not a Jedi mind trick where Canelo and his team can tell me, a consumer that will pay for his fights if it's a good fight, what to buy and what I want to see. So Canelo's team can try their hardest to make it look like David Benavidez is not qualified, he sucks, and oh, he only beat Dirrell. Dirrell just fought on Canelo's undercard and had a sensational one-punch knockout with a vicious uppercut. And he was outboxing David Benavidez. I know because I was at the fight. And he was outboxing David Benavidez, and David Benavidez turned it around in his favor and knocked Dirrell out, which no one else has done. So, I mean, how are we really going to try to do this? What are we doing here? Are we going to try to make it look like David Benavidez is not a great fighter because you're saying he only fought Anthony Dirrell? Furthermore, he was scheduled to fight a former champion, Uzcategui, but it's not David Benavidez's fault that this champion, Uzcategui, failed a test and was juicing to try to, because he didn't want no work, he didn't want no smoke, right? So again, this game will not work. The walls are closing in on Mr. Canelo Alvarez. You could say whatever you want, but it's funny that Canelo and his team try to acquit him as the face of boxing and the people's champion, but you're not doing what the people want. You can't tell me that David Benavidez is not substantially more successful, two Spanish-speaking individuals, two action styles, you know, that are crowd-pleasing, and I want to see it for one. And I'm not the only one that wants to see it. There's this guy who beat Canelo. What's his name? Oh yeah, Floyd Mayweather. Roll the clip.
Guy look up and down, but it is what it is. I mean, if it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, a hell of a fighter.
He said, like Winky Wright, another Hall of Famer, said, we want to see Canelo fight David Benavidez.
Like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, a hell of a fighter. But my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion. And I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. He's going up to cruise, and I'm not knocking him, but he's going up to cruiserweight. And that same guy with that, he used to be at the Mayweather boxing gym. The guys really getting the best of him in the Mayweather boxing gym. So if he's going up to quote unquote cruiserweight, I mean, we got a lot. Benavidez can go and beat that same guy. He can beat that same guy at 168. So he's not doing nothing, you know, like I said before. But when you are put in a certain position, he should be I mean, he's able to, like me. You know, when I was in the position, I can pick and choose who I want to.
There you have it. Floyd Mayweather just said that Canelo Alvarez, he said that guy that Canelo wants to fight at cruiserweight, Makbouk Air, he was in the Mayweather gym getting beat up by the guys. You know, he wasn't besting the people he had. So presumably the heavyweights that are in Mayweather's gym, maybe Andrew Tabiti and that. So Floyd has firsthand experience on Canelo's opponent. Now, one of the most baffling and idiotic things that comes from Canelo team and Canelo's fans is this notion that guys like David Benavidez is useless to see him fight a guy like Benavidez, and this whole notion of look at his resume, what has he done? But I can pull up Canelo Alvarez's resume and his last several fights, and I guarantee you there are people that Canelo has faced that people were like, huh? How? Why? Right? Like this year, because we're still in this year, he fought Avni Yildirim, a record of 21-2-0, right? Why did you fight him? If Benavidez, a former two-time champion who people want to see you fight, who actually has a chance to do good versus you, if that fight makes no sense and is useless, then how is this useful? Avni Yildirim. And then to have Eddy Reynoso undermining Benavidez's accomplishments, saying he's undisciplined and he has not beaten anyone except for Anthony Durrell, which is mediocre. This is when old media, these talking points, get you caught up. He says if you look at David Benavidez, the most he's done, he hasn't beaten anyone. The most he's done is beat Anthony Durrell, who I just told you is coming off of a sensational one-punch knockout against a Mexican fighter who had a good recent win. And Eddy Reynoso is trying to undermine Anthony Durrell, saying he didn't have a great run or great career at 68. So if that's the case, then why did Canelo fight Avni Yildirim, who lost by stoppage to that very same guy who is mediocre, Anthony Durrell? I don't think Durrell, I know Durrells. Shout out to the Durrells. So I'm not saying this. I'm saying, using the logic of Eddy Reynoso, if Anthony Durrell is mediocre, guess what? Mr. Mediocre Durrell has a win over Yildirim, who you fought after Durrell. Look, stopped in the 10th round, head clash, and who was up on the cards, because even if Durrell was losing on the cards, then he would have lost the fight. But so obviously he was winning on the cards, right? So Anthony Durrell in 2019 beat Yildirim, and he took 2 years off, and his next fight was who? Canelo Alvarez. Checkmate. There's not really much you could say at this point. Canelo's clearly ducking the smoke with David Benavidez. You can't justify Amir Khan's and Rocky Fielding's and Yildirim off of a loss and 2-year layoff and fights like that, and then in the same breath make it look like the Benavidez fight is trash. To further put the nail in the coffin and prove what I'm saying, Benavidez, after his last replacement opponent, because his initial opponent, Uzcategui, failed a drug test, Benavidez made it very clear he would love to fight Canelo or Jamal Charlo. Check that out. Subscribe to the channel. Facts on top of facts. I got facts on facts on facts. Roll the clip, and I'm out.
Now you put on this performance Where do you think you are, and what are you looking at?
I mean, I think it's an easy question. I think everybody wants to see me against Canelo, right? So,
and you can't get into Canelo's mind, but what do you think his assessment would be after seeing you fight tonight?
I don't know. I don't really care what his assessment is, but you know they keep putting these contenders in front of me. You know, my last fight was a WBC title eliminator. That's why I'm here holding my belts. You know, they need to give me the opportunity. You know, I'll go through anybody, whoever they want me to go through. The big Charlo want to get it too.
So Charlo would be the alternative?
He don't want to get in the ring with me because he's a pussy. That's why.
The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.